Hello, my beautiful plant people, and how are you doing today? I hope you're well. I am doing great. For those of you who are new here, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Nikki. This is my channel, Plants, Pots, and Whatnots. And for all of my gluttons for punishment who keep coming back for more, thank you so much for coming back. I truly do appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you for spending your time with me. Your time is precious, and it really does mean a lot to me that you're taking that precious time and spending it hanging out with me. Just so you know, it's not lost on me that that's crazy amazing. So today I have a special video. I have been working on this project for a little while, and I am so excited to share it with you today. So for a long time, as you guys know, or you may not know, as a YouTuber or an influencer, we do get a lot of companies that reach out to us asking us if we would like to try their products and so forth. Now, this particular company that I'm going to be talking about today did reach out to me quite some time ago, but my collection wasn't really in a place where I felt I could use the product to its fullest and give an honest opinion on it. So I just kind of put it off, and I said, you know, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested at this time. It really doesn't work into my my setup, etc. However, this year, as winter has been coming, I have come to the realization that my collection is just so huge right now, and I've been propagating a lot. And you know, anything from common stuff all the way up to more uncommon stuff. And I really needed a space where I could feel confident about growing all these things, and a system that really worked and got me through the Canadian winter with all of my plants still alive and thriving at the end. So today's video is all about Mars Hydro, their grow tent, and their TS1000 grow light. So I'm gonna show you my setup. I'll show you some really awkward clips of me putting it together. I'll apologize in advance. And just kind of explain everything, my first opinion on the light, my first opinions on the actual tent, and then I'll just kind of show you some features and show you how I have it set up. I will tell you before you even get started watching this is that I have had it set up for a week, I think. Yeah, maybe just a little over a week, and I'm already starting to see the fruits of my labor, or the fruits of the tent and lights labor, and I'm actually really excited about that. So the potential by the end of the winter, like, I'm almost like vibrating, because I honestly didn't expect it to be as good as it is. So I will say that. So without further ado, I'm just gonna stop rambling. Oh my gosh. And let's get into this video. Okay, so first of all, I will apologize for the lighting down here. I am in my basement right now. It is a completely finished basement, but there is not a whole lot of light down here. And so it might be a little, I've got my softbox set up, and I'm hoping that everything is illuminated enough that you can see. So I'm just gonna explain a bit about the tent first. So by the clips, and I'll just kind of sporadically throw them in as I deem necessary. My first impression when opening this tent, okay, this is so out of my element. I'm gonna yell, I'm hoping you can hear me. So I have the two boxes here. So this is the light, so we won't open that just yet. I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside. Yoink. And this, let me just, this is the tent. So I'm going to try to do this by myself, although I may have to holler upstairs and request the assistance of my darling fiance. So I know I said it already, but I'm like really excited about this. And when I say I did some research, I really truly did. I know there are a lot of companies that do provide this sort of thing. Okay, I am so excited. Already it looks awesome. Like, it doesn't look like a cheap, wow. It doesn't look like a cheap tent by any means. Okay. It looks like really, really high quality canvas. I really hope I can do this myself. Oh, cool. Check that out. We got stickers. That's so fun. Some of them have pot plants on them, so I'm not digging that. But anyway. Okay. Oh. Tell me this is a user manual. Thank goodness. Perfect. Okay. Okay. There's all my little corner bits. My brackets, like for, I don't even know. We'll get. And then all of my poles. So the one good thing about this tent, we're just going to talk tent for now, is that a lot of grow tents come with like plastic poles or plastic pieces. These are all like really solid metal. So my little greenhouse upstairs, it has metal poles, but they're not, you can tell they're not really sturdy. These are strong, like they're not, you know, flimsy metal by any means, so that's really great. So it's going to give the structure of the tent a lot more stability, which is lovely. Oh god. Okay, I think that's everything in the box. Let's get rid of that. Oh, I almost hit my dog. Okay. So the first thing I think I want to do is unfold this. Now I've seen a few people put these guys together, and I think that I can do it the easy way. But having said that, I'm probably going to screw it up. So this may take a while. I'll probably skip parts and fast forward through a lot of this. Alright, let's get this tent out first. Yoink. Actually, you know what? Let's read what they say to do first. I don't have my glasses. Set up the tent frame Oh, okay. It wants you to set up the whole frame first. Alright. Place it on the floor. Okay. Okay. Alright, I can do that. Ugh. Oh wait, that's not this tent. This is this one. Oh, still the same. Okay. So they want us to put together the poles and stuff first. So let me go ahead and readjust the camera angle, and then we'll go ahead and put together the frame. The frame. Speaking of frame, hi. We'll go ahead and put the frame together first. I missed a very important step. Serious business. I don't know how people work without having their hair up. I'm always amazed by Laura from Garden Answer. She does all that gardening with all her hair down. Girl, couldn't do it. Get out, up and out, you know? Okay, let's do this. So I didn't have like crazy high expectations. Really, I didn't know what to expect. But when I opened this tent, I was stunned by the actual quality of this tent. It is really thick canvas, really well made. The stitching is like on par. Now, I don't know if you've ever gotten any other grow tents or greenhouses or anything like that, but typically the material is just like subpar. It's not super great. So you can imagine my surprise when I opened this and I was like, dang, that is well made. So anyway, it's really, really thick. The stitching is amazing quality. Like, this is really durable. The other thing I was really impressed by was these zippers. I have one of those little clear, like Amazon 4 and 5 tier shelf greenhouses, and it's already split on me. The zipper is kind of crappy. This is a really sturdy zipper, and I'll get you some close-up shots so you can see what I mean, but like, that's not gonna break anytime soon. So a lot of the cool features, so this tent in particular is the, it's called a 4x4. So it's 4 feet by 4 feet. I didn't measure it exactly. I think it might be a little bit over that. 4 feet by 4 feet by, I think it's about 6.5 to 7 feet. It is quite tall. There's lots of space in here, and I absolutely love that. I was able to get a couple small shelves in there, plus have a lot of floor space to put some of my taller plants so that everything's getting adequate lighting. But the features that I really like about this one, as opposed to maybe one that's a little bit smaller, is the fact that it has access panels on both sides of the tent. So depending on where you have your tent situated, I know that sometimes there's certain places that we have to put things that fit into our setup. So it's really handy that we have both sides and the huge front door available to get access into the plants. Now, there is this massive front door, and it goes the full front of this thing and all the way open to the side. These ones on the side, and I'll again insert some footage here, are more like access doors, so you can reach in, get things, move things, or whatever. But they're a good size too, so you're not like struggling. You do have the availability of using or getting into the tent from either side, depending on where you have this in your home. The other really nice thing that I love is that it has this front window. So if you want to take a peek in there without letting everything escape, you can just pop this open, take a peek. If I look in here, I can see that my little hydrometer, we are sitting at 93%, which is amazing. I think that was one of the things that I was most worried about, was keeping the humidity up in here. And I will tell you, it is not a problem. This basement is chilly. Like, I have a sweater on today because when I come down here, like, it's cold. As most basements are, I'm sure. We haven't turned the heat on yet, but even when the heater's on down here, it is not, it's not super warm. So it's staying nice and warm in here. It is staying humid in here. So that was definitely a relief for me, because that's one of the things. Actually, I have a couple of friends that have this particular tent, or a little bit smaller, and I was asking them, I'm like, does humidity stay okay in there? Like, I'm a little worried about it. They're like, oh no, Nikki, you don't have anything to worry about. It's great. They weren't lying. Thank you for not lying to me. Anyway, so it does have this little front access panel, and it does have mesh in here. So it's more of a, you can either use it as like a ventilation or just a peak window. It has similar ones down the side that I will show you, and these are on either side of the tent for air to circulate in through the bottom and up through the top. Now, it really depends on how you have this set up. I don't have the big fancy like duct work and stuff like that with a proper fan and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's just not, like, I'm not that professional, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need that big huge setup. Really, I needed a space that would keep the humidity and the warm air inside, and be able to have that amazing perfect grow situation. So I have found that just having a little bit of it vented when the tent is on, like when the light's on during the day, I vent the bottom a little bit just by peeling back that little strip of Velcro, and then at night when I shut the light off, I close up those vents on the bottom, and that works perfectly for me. I mean, if you want to actually get the tubing and stuff like that to do a proper ventilation, totally up to you. There is lots of holes. There are lots of like the ventilation holes where that ductwork can go through, and there's so many different options of how you can set this up. And I feel like if you're the type of person who wants that type of setup, this is a really great tent for that, because it does give you a lot of flexibility. Okay, so let's just go ahead and I will show you the actual door, and I'll show you what I got going on inside. Okay, hopefully this is okay. I'm not used to filming at a distance. But I wanted to show you this. So this is the tent. This is the massive door. We're gonna go ahead and open it, and I will show you the inside here. There is a little tie on the outside here where you can kind of tie your door so that it stays open. But this is it. This is the inside of my tent, and it is muggy in here. So right now it's sitting at, well, it's starting to drop now, but it was at 94 when I opened, 94% humidity. And it's sitting at about 24 degrees, which is great. Sometimes it gets a little high. It hasn't been on for too long this morning because I am doing this earlier, so the light just came on. But it does put out a decent amount of warmth from the bottom. But it doesn't get, I mean, it's warm, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna burn and whatever. So this is the inside. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you in and show you some of the features on the inside of this tent. Okay, so some of the things, when I was talking to you about the ventilation system, so it has multiple spaces for ducting here. You also have two at the bottom. There is one right behind that begonia there, and one right here. And then down here, you can see the ventilation. There's one there, and actually there's one at the back as well, and then one on this side. Super handy. So here you can see that there's the access panel on this side and on this side, again with those really sturdy zippers. At the top here, if we look up, they give you these bars that fit up here that you can attach fans to, your lights, so on and so forth. And these are extremely sturdy. Like, this is not like a cheaply built tent. Like, this is solid, which is so awesome. So as you can see, the entire inside of the tent is reflective, even the inside of this door and the floor, which makes the light able to reflect off all sides and really light everything up all the way around the tent. Okay, so let me show you next the light that I've got in here. So this light is a TS1000 Mars Hydro LED grow light. So this light is usually designed for about a 2x2, 3x3 space, like a footprint. But it seems to be working rather well. Everything is well lit, and I will be getting another one of these in the future, so that we can have more of a even coverage. But for right now, I'm really impressed with how it's lighting up the space, especially when this door is closed and there's reflection from all sides. Like, there's not a whole lot of shadow in here, which is really nice. So if we look up, you can see the board there. So this light has, it's a full spectrum light. Now, from what I understand and from some of the information that I have looked up previous to getting this or anything like that, is that there is, I think that the blue light, there's a little bit higher of a blue light wave in here, which is excellent for like foliar growth, whereas your red is more of a for flowering and fruiting. So depending on what you're using the light for, you know, will kind of depend on what you want. But there's a really nice even light in here, and for my needs, I'm a foliage kind of gal. I'm not really a flower or fruit kind of gal. So that really works well for my needs. So this light is also reflective, if you can see that. I know that's a little bit dark, but this is also reflective. So everything in here is just designed to reflect light back onto the plants, which I absolutely love. The thing I really like about this particular light is that it's dimmable. So if you can see here, I'll turn it down. So that is the lowest setting, which is still shedding some light, but it's not crazy bright. Now let me go ahead and turn it up to half. Okay, so that is half light. And this is full, which is nice and bright. So you can see here, you can kind of set it to, let's see if I can focus in on there. You can set it to wherever you want. And I love that feature. Depending on how close your plants are to it, you can adjust the brightness to whatever works best for you in your setup. And that is an amazing option. I absolutely love that. And I think that's what sets this particular light out apart from some of the others that I have used in the past. So here you have your on-off switch. There is also, you see these channel 1, channel 2. So once I get a second one, I can go ahead and plug the second one in here with the cable that they do send with it. And then you can attach both of the lights together and they kind of work on the same schedule sort of thing. So that is super, super cool. I absolutely love that. So let me show you how it attaches here. So you have these clips, whoops, you have these clips here that attach to the board itself. And then you have them attached to this pulley, which is nice and sturdy. And then up at the top here, you have these little carabiners, and that's where it attaches to the roof or the bars at the top of the light. It's really, really sturdy, really stable. It sits nice and flat. It's great and wonderful and lovely. I am like obsessed with this thing. So anyways, the light works really, really well. Like I said, I have seen a lot of growth from the plants just in the week that I've had them in here, which is insane. I cannot speak highly enough of it so far, but I am going to take over the winter, use it to the fullest. I'll be giving you guys updates as we go along, just to let you know how things are going. But by the end of the winter, so here in Canada, that's usually around the end of March, I will give you a full review on how I think that it did. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Right now, I really think that, that it is. Especially for me here where I get some really cold winters. We lose a lot of light up here in Ontario, Canada, and I think this is really going to be a lifesaver for my plants. So I'll show you some of the stuff that I've put in here as far as my setup is concerned. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the more important parts of any greenhouse, whether it's small or large, is you must, absolutely must have air circulation. So I've got this little fan. I picked it up on Amazon. It is in my Amazon storefront if you want to take a look at those. But these things, I have one in my little cheapy plastic greenhouse upstairs. But I've had that fan for about a year and it has never stopped running. Literally, I never turn it off and it just constantly runs. So those are great little fans. So I have one of those. But again, if you want a proper setup, there are like ducting fans and exhaust systems that you can put through here. But for my needs, my little fan is fine. I'll probably get a secondary one to put kind of closer to the bottom so it's got complete circulation. But for right now, that's totally fine. Okay, so that's how I have that set up there. I've got the light situated probably right at chest level, maybe a smidge higher, because I do have a range of plant sizes in here. So I've got all of my larger plants. You can see if I get down here, I've got my Gloriosum, I have my Glorious back there, I've got my Pictum, which is leaning, this plant is thorn in my side. I've got some taller begonias and that kind of thing. So I have all the taller stuff on the floor of the tent. And I have these cute little 3-shelf ones that I picked up from Amazon. I'll put those down in the description below as well. They're super, super handy, really easy to put together. And so I picked up 2 of them, one for either side. And I have just all of my smaller plants on there. As you can see, we can go down here. I kind of have these ones sitting in the just in the front here, so they're still getting light. They're not getting pounded because they don't like crazy super high light, but I didn't want them, you know, if you put them too far under here, they're not going to get quite as much light. So I kind of geared the plants to the light situation inside the tent here, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I have my little hydrometer here, and these ones are great. I've used a few different ones, but for inside a grow tent or a greenhouse, these are the only ones that I've found that will actually hold up. The little black ones I used to have, and they would run for maybe a few weeks and then they would crap out. So I don't know if they just weren't airtight enough where the humidity was getting into them. But if you want them inside a greenhouse, those are great options. So that is basically it. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and monitor this over time and see how everything goes. Oh, one more cool feature that I wanted to show you that I think is absolutely awesome. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of plants in here that aren't on trays. And anytime with plants, you're gonna end up with dirt. Now, Mars Hydro did their thinking on this one, and I love this feature. So at the bottom here, let me see if I can show you. There is actually a tray that sits in here. Now, the floor of it is also reflective, so if you don't want to use this, you don't have to. But this is a tray that sits inside here, so that if you do get water or soil spilling down here, instead of having to like try to sweep this out, and there is a lip on it, so that would probably be difficult. You can just so they're just Velcroed here. You can just undo these, take the whole tray out, dump it, wash it off, and put it back in. So you don't have to worry about trying to get in there and sweep it out, and it's like, it would be a whole thing, right? It's just a tray, you pop it out, you clean it, you put it back in. I absolutely love that feature. They were really thinking on that one. And so that's definitely something I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so that's pretty much my setup. Like I said, I will be updating you guys throughout the winter. I'll probably like throw out a monthly video just to kind of give you an idea of how everything's going. I know I really like seeing update videos, especially with something like this, like how's everything growing? Is it doing what it's supposed to do? Is it doing what they tell you it's supposed to do? And I don't know about you, but I'm excited to find out. So throughout the winter, I'll just be doing regular, kind of probably monthly updates just to let you know how everything's going in here. Also watch out on my Instagram, because I'm sure I'll be posting stuff there about it as well. Here is my Instagram account. Go ahead and follow me over there. We have a lot of fun over there. And you see all my plant updates, new leaves, and so forth. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video today. I would like to say one thing in regards to grow lights and grow light companies and that kind of thing. I think sometimes they really get a bad rep, and it really depends on the company, and it really depends on what you're comparing it to. You have to remember to compare apples with apples. If I was a professional grower and I was growing to sell and those sorts of things, this probably wouldn't be the setup I would choose. As a professional grower, you want a big, like industrial type setup. But for somebody like us who just grows indoors, maybe you just need a space for some of your more delicate plants for the winter or cooler months, or maybe you're looking to propagate like I am. Maybe you live in Canada and you're just running out of space. I think for the price point, this setup is really, really good. The price point is good. Would I say that, I would probably say that for the price point, it is probably far better than a lot of the other ones that you're going to see at that price point. So I think that's one of the things that we do have to remember, is you have to compare apples to apples. You can't compare apples to oranges or peaches or strawberries. Why am I using fruit as an analogy? You know what I mean. Anyway, so just keep that in mind when you're looking for stuff like this. If it's just a small little at-home setup that you need, this is amazing and probably will surpass your expectations, because even in the week that I've had it, it's already surpassed mine. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I will leave the link for Mars Hydro below if you guys want to check them out yourselves. There's also a lot of really great videos online that kind of break down the science behind the light and all of the aspects and the different like technical specs of the light. you know I'm not a technical spec kind of gal, so I will leave that to the people who understand it. I believe Kevin at Epic Gardening has a really good video on this particular light itself, and he really explains it quite well. So if you want to check out that video, go over to Kevin's channel at Epic Gardening and check out that video. But yeah, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to say about it. So anyways, I'm excited to show you guys the updates. I would like you all to have an amazing and wonderful day, night, week, month, year. I love you all to bitty bits, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!